Someone once said, fame and success will not bring you happiness without a deeper knowledge of yourself and a connection to something greater than yourself. Mind-body medicine man, the unstoppable Deepak Chopra, has fame and success along with a deep knowledge of himself and connections to greater things, but he is still searching and going where he is guided. He is a poet, a prophet of alternative medicine, and a prolific author too. His newest book is small and powerful. It's called The Soul of Leadership. It is my pleasure to welcome Deepak Chopra back to Vancouver, back to Studio 4 to tell us more. And with eyebrows.
With eyebrows.
And I say that because last time you were here, you were going on an adventure, a journey, to check yourself into a Thai monastery.
Yes. I ordained as a monk in Thailand in a little place outside, a forest monastery outside of a town called Reng Chai. And lived the life of a monk for about a month, going begging in the morning on the streets for my food, barefoot, which was not so comfortable.
Because there's brambles and thorns.
Yeah, brambles and thorns and all kinds of rocks. But as the monk said, the foot that hurts is the one that you put down. At the same time you're lifting the other one, you should focus on that one. So it worked.
I'll have to try that one day.
It did work.
I'm sure it did, because you'd have to have a mind that could go there, right?
Yes.
You sure would. Okay, but good answer from the monk. The first time out, you got to wear your tennis shoes because you were just an assistant. Is that true?
That's right, yeah. I got to wear my tennis shoes up till the moment I got ordained, after which I wasn't allowed.
So as the week went, first they put you into extreme hardship or a little hardship, or what? Day one.
It's gradual hardship. There's no free running water, except out in the fields there's a tap, so you use that for your ablutions. You only get to eat in the morning, and that too what the monks bring back from their begging round, which is actually called the alms round. They don't call it begging, which is because the villagers actually feel very privileged to give you food, because you are, in a sense, having good intentions for the greater good.
Right. But they could give you a chocolate bar or a mango.
Or sometimes a boiled egg,
I see,
like
and that's it.
Yeah, whatever they wanted to. And then, so you come back, you eat with the monks all together. Most of the day you stay in mindful awareness, and it's fantastic, actually. We can talk more about it, but it's a very joyful experience when you get into it and you start to actually really sense what's happening in your body or your emotional state or your mind, and to witness it non-judgmentally. You begin to realize that your body's natural state is to return to peace, harmony, energy, and joy, really. And you start to really enjoy that process. And then at night we would meditate from 2 in the morning to 6 in the morning on our death. We would chant in Pali the meaning of death and the meaning of impermanence, and in a sense detached from our personal ego self.
And how did your brain change when you now think about the meaning of impermanence or your own death? How did it change you?
Well,
or how you
intellectually, for many years, I've realized that I'm not a person, and that that's a trap. That if you think of yourself as a person, there's no permanent identity. You're not the same person you were when you were a teenager or a child. Not the same body, not the same mind, not the same personality. So a person is a socially induced hallucination. I've already
I love that. Can I use it?
Of course.
Okay.
So, and as long as you think you're a person, you'll be a prisoner of that hallucination. But if you realize that you're the alert witness of all the roles you play, then there's a freedom in that. And that was something I was aware of. I've taken silence. But this practice, because it was so disciplined, was much more reinforcing.
How difficult was it for you to remain silent for that long?
It wasn't difficult at all because I had made up my mind that I was going to enjoy it. You know, it's the intention that makes all the difference. And so actually I was sad to see it all come to an end because, when you left, you come to Bangkok, it's suddenly all the
Culture shock.
melodrama of a city. Yeah.
And they shave your head and they shaved your eyebrows too.
Yes.
Did you know that was going to happen?
I didn't, so that was a bit of a surprise. But I didn't have access to a mirror, so I had no idea what I looked like.
So no mirrors, no booze.
Yeah, nothing of the
Not-
sort. And at the
not
end of
much
the week,
food.
when I finally looked at the mirror, I didn't recognize myself, which was the whole point, because we identify with something that's not real anyway.
What about the connection to others? When you're with others and sharing food with others, not talking to others, what is that like?
There's what is called a felt presence. You feel the others in your consciousness, but also you feel that your mind is entangled with their mind, and so is your body, that, which is the Buddha's teaching. There's no such thing as the separate self. There is the entangled mind and the entangled body, and we are that. At the deepest level, we are the total universe pretending to be a human being.
You've often said we all have the still place inside us, which is the source of meaning. You have worked very long at tapping your inner guide. How do you help people in this book, for instance, The Soul of Leadership, to tap their inner guide, their soul, especially if they're running Egypt or running the United States of America or Canada or Russia?
But so far I've been teaching this particular course, The Soul of Leadership, at Kellogg Management School, Northwestern University, and it's mostly CEOs of business. So we have to begin with the idea, first of all, that you do have a soul. It's the place of meaning, context, relationship, archetypal stories, that great leaders live from that level. They have values that they live up to, that they have great self-esteem because they don't identify with their ego, with their spirit. We create a soul profile. We teach them to listen, not only with the body, but with the mind, the heart, and the soul, and create the soul profile. And then that's the basis of everything they do. And so I have an acronym, LEADERS, LEADERS. So L stands for look and listen. Through the mind, the body, the heart, and the soul, create a vision.
Okay, take me to the boardroom of Work Warehouse or someplace like that, or a big chain, a big corporate chain. And you say to the leader, look and listen.
Yes.
What does it mean?
Yeah, what do I want? Who am I? What kind of company do I want to run? How does it impact society, customers, investors? What are our unique set of skills? How do we maximize our strengths to create a great team? How do we bond emotionally? How do we believe in exactly what we're doing? It's all process oriented, but then at the end, here's the bottom line. Your company is actually doing better than most other companies. When I work with Men's Warehouse, I'm on their board as well. I worked with Frito-Lay, which is a big division of Pepsi. And the CEO, Al Carey, has 50 leaders under him who have 50,000 leaders under them. They're reinventing themselves, carbon neutral manufacturing, reduced water consumption from 50 billion gallons to 5 billion gallons. They're changing their foods to nutritious foods. This is a company that's known for junk food, and they're doing better financially.
And that's a good thing.
Yeah, you do
Yes.
better by doing good.
So if our soul perceives everything, take me back to the boardroom table, and you say the E of leaders is emotional bonding.
Yes, emotional bonding, to be free of toxic emotions yourself, to be in touch with the emotions of others, to manage relationship without conflict, and to have a deep sense of being cared for and to care. When you have these ingredients, you have a great team. When you look, the best examples of teams are, by the way, sports teams. So when you have two competing sports teams, it's not the one that plays better that wins. They're very close to each other. Even the gold medalist and the silver medalist and the bronze medalist in the Olympics, they're just about the same. Okay, it's the emotional bonding of the team, the pride in the team, the sense of belonging, the relationship with the coach. That's what makes a difference.
And when you play the game, I'm sure it's about the A in leaders, awareness. The great one, Wayne Gretzky.
Yes.
If you talk to any hockey player who played against him,
Right.
they will tell you that Gretzky always knew where the puck was before the puck was there.
That's right. It's called non-local correlation.
Really?
Yes. Actually, you talk to Michael Jordan and people like that, they, in fact, see everything in slow motion. And it's like a mute button has been switched on. They don't hear a sound because they're in the realm of the transcendent.
So in the zone.
In the zone, which is the same word as this word Zen, which is the same word as Dhyan, which means meditation.
How do you get yourself in the zone if you're simply not in the zone? You've been in traffic, you're harried, you walk into the boardroom, you have no idea what you're going to do,
you have to
and
you have to live a lifestyle of mindfulness. You know, you have to be mindfully living all the time, and that's something you train yourself to be in.
Sure, and of course any great leader has to have vision, and when we come back we'll talk about that and where
Yes.
that fits. It's one thing to have a vision.
Right.
It's another thing to implement it
Yes.
or to really understand it.
Right.
Deepak Chopra, our guest, his new small book, The Soul of Leadership, Small, Powerful, Unlocking Your Potential for Greatness. We'll come back.